At Lowe's, before the holidays is the perfect time for upgrades and upkeep. During Black Friday, get up to 50% off select major appliances and buy more to save more with up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, grab select DeWalt 20-volt max drill or impact driver kits for just $99. Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 12/3. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Money Moves as we welcome you back. VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, Sirius XM Channel 158. We're live in downtown Las Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. He's Jonathan Von Tobel. I'm Stormy Buonantony. Thank you to Adam Burke for joining us for the last two segments. Remember, if you miss any of the program, you can always download Money Moves in podcast form wherever you get your podcast. Had some of his best bets in college hoops coming up later on today. Also discussing a little bit of the college football conference championship situation that is to come. We're going to have a lot more NFL coming up this hour, especially with the Thanksgiving Day trio of games that we have upon us coming up. Before we get to those, JVT, I did want to just lay out a couple of the teams that have been really good at covering, bad at covering, all that kind of stuff. This past week, dogs went 9-4 ATS, unders also 9-4. So for the up and down that we've had with some of these, at least we're on a streak of the dogs covering, which has been nice, I think, for those of us that do like taking points in the NFL.
I mean, and it comes not too far away from that 3 or 4 week stretch where every single favorite was coming in, too. It's almost like it all balances out in the end.
And excuse me, unders 10-4 after last night as well. But yes, it's one of those things.
Some would say
does happen.
Water finds its level.
And yet
some would say it all comes out in the wash.
Oh, that's a good one.
You've never heard that one before?
No, I've heard that, but it's like not something that I would say is something I hear often.
Oh, okay.
But some of these teams, though, while you say like it all levels out, some teams have been very good covering spreads, pretty much any number that's been put in front of them. Your Indianapolis Colts among those teams, and they got the cover by the skin of their teeth this past week against Kansas City.
One would argue they probably shouldn't have. Kareem Hunt doesn't turn that ball over. Who knows what's going to happen from there? But you are right. They did get inside of that number. That was quite the sweat.
Your best covered teams in the NFL this year: the Colts, the Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, and the New England Patriots.
You know, I think of those teams, the Rams are probably the one that stands out only because they are, of those four, the one that came in with the highest expectations. And those expectations tend to stay with you. And the fact that they are covering at a high rate, despite the fact that they have the market expectations behind them, shows how good they've really been. I mean, not every week, but frequently we'll say laying numbers, covering them to the rate that they have. This has been a really impressive run from the Rams. I really don't think there's any question. We do our market power ratings. Maybe you know what? We might have to do it on Wednesday just because Thursday's here, and maybe we can do it tomorrow with you.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Let's do that.
I'd be shocked if they're not the highest rated team in the NFL. Along with Kansas City, the market's been pretty stubborn with KC, but I'd be stunned if they're not on the top row this week.
Yeah, and they are the favorite to win the Super Bowl now. Yep. We've talked a lot about Matthew Stafford, how he's more than a $2 favorite now to be the league MVP, and it's not just been the offense. The defense has been awesome, too. It's all really come together for them to this point, and they are, if I remember correctly. Oh, no, it's actually Seattle. Seattle has a better cover margin than they do, but probably because early on maybe the expectations weren't as high and the questions about Sam Darnold and what it was going to look like.
They also have more blowouts to their name, too, right? I mean, there's a couple of those really lopsided contests where they were smoking teams. New Orleans, Arizona, those games come to mind where they've blown out Washington, short number, blowouts. So they have a few more blowouts to their name. So I would assume that is probably why you see a better cover margin there.
Speaking of the Washington Commanders, they and the New Orleans Saints are your worst ATS teams in the league at 3-8 against the spread. The longest active ATS losing streak is Washington on a 6-game no cover streak at this point. Yet the Raiders are the team that actually has the worst cover margin of any other team in the NFL.
We're going to talk about them later. I'll save anything about the Raiders for when we talk about their contest coming up later this week.
The longest ATS winning streak
in NFL? Let me think. Hold on. Let me think. Right now, like the team that's currently on an active longest cover streak?
Yeah.
Is it? No, I don't know. Who is it?
The Titans.
Oh, really? It's that short, huh? It's only, what are we talking
At
about?
least that's
4 games or 3 games?
Yep.
4
And
games?
At least that's according to ESPN numbers where they closed at ESPN Bet, so that could be different than other places. But I just thought that was interesting. Okay, let's look to these things.
I was thinking like 7 games. I was trying to think who's on like a really good run.
Really
but wow, only 4 games.
Only 4. Thanksgiving Day, we do have the Thanksgiving triple header. It's going to start early for those of us here on the West Coast, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern kickoff on Fox. The Green Bay Packers in Detroit at Ford Field taking on the Lions. Packers, and we've talked about this before, have been great as a dog under Matt LaFleur, 29-3 ATS, 18-14 outright. So that's the best win percentage of any coach as a dog and second best cover percentage. 2.5 the spread here with them on the road, total 48.5. Anything in particular stand out to you early?
Lean a little bit. I mean, so here's the thing. Like, I lean a little bit toward Detroit. I guess my quibble is, like, do I really think Detroit's better than Green Bay? I think these two teams are pretty equal with each other. I think the market's still been kind of using 2.5-ish for home field. I don't think there's saying there's that much of a difference between these two. As you know, I've been using 1.5. So it would dictate that maybe Detroit is about a point better than Green Bay on a neutral. Look, both of these teams I think are untrustworthy. I mean, you look at the fact that Detroit was in this ridiculous shootout last week against Jameis Winston and the New York Giants, needed overtime and a little bit of luck to help them pull that out. We can go on and on about Green Bay. Congratulations for dominating J.J. McCarthy, but this team has been as inconsistent as you can tell. We're talking about market expectations, 4-7 against the spread. I think Green Bay, usually you don't want to tease higher totals, but Green Bay teasing them up to 8.5, I think that seems like a pretty strong teaser leg. I don't see a scenario in which this would be a game that they can't stay inside of 8.5 realistically. I lean a little bit toward Detroit, especially, look, playing at home, that obviously is going to benefit you on a short week. Detroit being able to work their offense. Their offense, when everything came out last week, by the end of it, was pretty explosive. And I think you're going to be able to do that here. The question is just this hit or miss, this boom or bust offense for Green Bay. Will it boom a little bit more against the Detroit Lions defense that had a lot of trouble containing explosives last week?
Yeah, and if you remember, too, it's interesting because week 1 feels like it's so far away, but this was one of those opening weekend matchups where I think a lot of people were pretty stunned at the way Green Bay performed. They win that 27-13. Everyone was like, what's going on with the Lions? And then the Lions bounced back in a huge way the following week.
And that score wasn't even indicative of how dominant that was for Green Bay in that game. Like, they defensively looked like they were going to be far and away the best NFL team. And I think there's still a case to be made that they are there in that stratosphere on defense. But as we have learned more about Green Bay, the offense has been wildly inconsistent.
Maybe revenge on the mind as well for Detroit, all that to be said.
Can I ask you something real quick before you move on? Are we not, I brought this up to Mitchell, whatever side you like.
Division?
Yeah. Are you not betting them to win the division like before this game? Because here's the thing. I mean, look. Chicago leads the division right now. They're 8-3. They have a -3-point differential. Their schedule is a massive load for Chicago moving forward. You have the Eagles coming up on Black Friday. You have Chicago. You have to play Green Bay, I believe, twice. That's still left on the schedule. You have a lot of games left, especially within this division, that you look to for Chicago and you go, oh, this team should, and is probably approaching a cliff that is going to fall off. So now what do? And I think it's the winner of this game is in the driver's seat for the division. And whatever it means, I don't know if it means much. Look at the Lions' schedule. The one thing that sticks out about Detroit, there are no cold weather games for tiny hands Jared Goff to play outside of Week 18 at Chicago. The rest of the way, Stormy, they are playing indoors, whether that matters for you or not for them. But you're in this game at home. You're home versus the Cowboys. You're in LA against the Rams. You're home versus the Steelers, and you're at the Vikings. You don't have to worry about any of that if you feel like that's a big factor for Goff in this offense. They won't have to play outdoors until Week 18.
And you mentioned the difficulty for the Chicago Bears down the stretch, who currently, as you said, have the lead in the division right now. At the Eagles this week, at Green Bay, have to take on that Cleveland Browns defense. Green Bay again in San Francisco, taking on the 49ers, and then they close out the season with the Detroit Lions. So there you go. The prices on the NFC North, Green Bay, your favorite at +125, and Detroit +155. If you do think Chicago could escape the gauntlet, +320, but I think we're kind of drawing the line through them there. So plus money on all of them compared to some of these divisions. We got like the Rams -360. New England's a $6 favorite right now. So still a division that you can get plus money that's tossed up in the air here. The Kansas City Chiefs, so they finally win a one-score game. I know. I'm sorry. They are 3.5-point favorites in Dallas, taking on the Cowboys this week. Total 51.5. This is the 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern game on CBS and Paramount. Cowboys have been profitable in the underdog role as well, like we were talking about with Green Bay, 4-1 against the spread when getting points this season. Chiefs, meanwhile, riding a 3-game no-cover streak. They're 1-4 against the spread on the road this season. 6 straight Chiefs games have also gone under the posted total, and this is a higher one. If you shop around, it's even as high as 52.5 in the market right now. Yeah,
and there was some worry that Pickens was dinged up, but he did practice today, it seems like. So that is a very positive news for Dallas in that regard. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of, if I'm going to stick to my guns in the way that I usually handicap these games, which is looking back and realistically assessing how a team performed, 33 first downs to 10 for Kansas City, doubling up the Colts in yardage. You know, there's probably
and yards. How much of that was in the fourth quarter, too?
Yeah, and yards per play didn't really, you know how I like to bring that up on Sundays, on a net per play basis, how much you're really dominating your opponent. There wasn't that big edge for Kansas City, so there's some nuance there, but they did, I think, perform a little bit better than what 23-20 would indicate. We know what this Cowboys defense really is. I don't know, that flat 3 minus 110, if it pops up, seems kind of tempting for Kansas City, doesn't it? Or am I in an island when it comes to our show?
I still am not 100% sure what to do with Dallas now that they have taken a little bit of a step up in defense. I did not expect them to come all the way back the way that they did this past weekend. So are they better than we think they are with some of the changes they've made is still what I'm trying to figure out. On the surface, yeah, that seems like the obvious side. Kansas City's going to be the better team even on the road, and it's only a field goal if you get there. But I'm not 100% sure what Dallas is right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But I am very tempted. But, either way, you're taking a chance. And anytime gambling, even with a place like Bracco, it's a chance. But it's a really good thing to do.
That is a great reminder for anybody who didn't know. Coming up tomorrow, it's Blackjack Wednesday at Bracco. You can hit the tables, play Blackjack. If luck doesn't go your way, you'll even get 50% off your losses back in Bracco Cash up to $500. Use our promo code VSIN, VSIN, to grab your bonus and try again with house money. PlayBracco.com, promo code VSIN. Again, PlayBracco, BRACCO.com.
One day only Thanksgiving Day deals are coming to Lowe's.com. Plus, members get early access to online Black Friday doorbuster deals on gifting favorites, like the still trending Cobalt Mini Toolbox for just $14.98. Don't miss up to 50% off for one day only at Lowe's.com. We help, you save. Valid 11/27 only on Lowe's.com. Member only doorbusters and midnight Eastern. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change while supplies last.
You're watching Money Moves here on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
Stormy, Buonantony, Jonathan Von Tobel with you back here on Money Moves, keeping tabs on some of these college basketball games. Iowa State closed a 6.5-point favorite against Creighton. They're up 50-38 right now as the second half just getting underway. I know you've been keeping tabs on this NC State-Boise State game. Still in the first half, but close game.
I will do my job first before I respond to a ridiculous statement that you made during the break. NC State currently only up by 1. I was hoping for a better. So the lowest the in-game number got for NC State was 2.5. So I was trying to find an opportunity to play them. Boise State off to a pretty decent start, really supplementing their offense with offensive rebounding. If you look at just the base shooting numbers, at one point NC State was shooting over 50%, while Boise State was shooting just barely about 33%, and yet they were up by about 4. But we're really killing them in the offensive glass, and really still are. 8-2, they lead in offensive rebounding. So I thought that, NC State, you start closing out a little bit more, you start boxing out, a little bit more, so a little bit more effort. You're shooting the ball better, 45%, 5 of 11 from deep compared to 4 of 12 from Boise. You're probably going to be able to get back in this. I thought I could get better than 2.5 in-game. It's now back up to 4.5, but got my eye on this. Hopefully the Broncos can make a little bit of a run over the last 350 here in the first half, and I can get something in-game for NC State, but I am.
What ridiculous statement did I make? I'm very confused.
You don't know what hot pot is. You've never had a hot pot.
Is that a college basketball thing?
No, it's a food thing.
Oh no, what is a hot pot? What is that?
Have you ever had Korean barbecue?
Yes.
Similar concept except soup. So you go and you get like a giant vat of broth of whatever, and then you can cook meats in it. There's a buffet style usually stuff, so they give you like uncooked noodles. They have vegetables. They have all sorts of things. It's a great.
So if you go to a table, there's like a pot with broth in the middle.
Yeah, you pick your broth.
People.
Yeah, you pick your broth. Yeah, and then you go and
I've never heard of that.
So some would argue it is like
that sounds like it would be something I'd like though.
Yeah, especially in winter. An Asian offshoot of fondue, if you will. You ever had fondue? You look like you've had fondue.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Of course you have. I'm sure you're big on chocolate fondue, are you not?
Of course. You read me like a book. You can put cheesecake in it.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. But yes, so hot pot. I'm surprised you never had it. It's a very good. It's very obviously good winter thing because soup in winter.
Speaking of which, there is a part of the community out there that does not think soup counts as a meal. Mm. Are you in that pack or not?
Yeah, I mean it counts as a meal, especially if you load it up.
I think
if we're just talking like straight broth, I think you make the argument. There's nuance to everything.
Like, is it a drink or is it a food?
Like, if I hand you a bowl of just chicken broth, I think you would even argue that that's not a meal. But if I hand you a bowl of chicken soup with carrots and peas and noodles,
would a bowl of chicken broth be food still,
yes,
in your opinion? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. I don't know. World's a crazy place.
Well, food's a technical term. I mean, that's
versus
binary.
It being a drink.
Right. Well, you can drink it.
Correct. But it is not a drink.
But it is not a drink.
Just had to clarify. Yep. Got to get some things out there. Got to get
it
off my
world's
chest.
not black and white, Stormy. It's not ones and zeros.
We will get back to the Thanksgiving games in a bit because we've yet to preview Bengals, Ravens. We can do that coming up in the next segment. But to stick with the college basketball theme we have, yes.
Oh, sorry. Wait, college basketball? I thought we were going to do NFL here. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Well, because we had a question.
We can do that if you want.
I mean, I don't know. I made the rundown, so I thought that we were going to stick to it. I apologize.
This was an empty block.
Oh, was it really?
Yes.
I'm not paying attention.
So
it's a holiday week. What are we doing?
I was moving college basketball up.
I'm sorry. It's a holiday week. So two things. First off, our boy Lockman asks if I'm scared of the 6.5 win total for the Miami Dolphins. I've been very anti-Miami.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's pull up the remaining schedule.
The easy answer is yes, very much so. And in fact, last week, so I'm on VSiN by the Books every single Tuesday in the mornings. And last week, I brought it up to Dave, and I think Dave played it. I think he played the win total over 6.5, so we are quite literally head-to-head. I also brought up, and maybe can you pull up the yes-no playoff odds?
Yes.
Because Miami's schedule, you can make a very strong case that this team's about to make a playoff push potentially. They have won now 2 straight, 3 out of the last 4. You look at what they have in front of them. Winnable games against the Saints, Jets, Steelers, Bengals, Buccaneers. I mean, look at the schedule. And by the time you get to Week 18, let's say you rip off these wins, you could be sitting, potentially.
Oh, stop it.
So let me just point this picture. We have seen crazier things in the world. That you're 9-7 taking on a Patriots team that has nothing to play for.
No?
Who among these Titans on their schedule are you afraid of?
No. I get 100% what you're saying, and you look at this schedule on paper, but what do we say, JVT? Games aren't played on paper.
That's right.
Played on grass or turf in this case. But, like, New Orleans, who are they? We don't know. The Jets have won games that they're not supposed to win. They're going to be at home. Mm-hmm. The Steelers, Aaron Rodgers missed last week, but he's expected to be back. Will the defense play any better? Like, Miami's not a good team still. Joe Burrow is going to be back for the Cincinnati Bengals. Are they going to be able to outduel that team? I don't know. So they're a 4-win team right now. I get what you're saying. Yes, they've won 3 of their last 4 and are coming out of the bye, but I'm still not a buyer on them. For the make-miss playoff options, they don't even give you a no.
Right.
The make is 100 to 1. So I'm not doubting you. I'm just saying I agree with the market that feels extremely unlikely.
I'm going to play a little on the yes.
Especially given, so let me pull up the AFC playoff picture in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem for Miami, too, is that a bunch of contenders have checked in from the AFC South, where it looked like the AFC South at one point was going to be a one-bid league, if you will. But now all of a sudden, the Texans are winning games.
Yeah.
The Jags are 7-4, if you have it in front of you, if I remember correctly. Texans are 6-5. Colts are 8-3. Like, there's a pretty strong chance that now all of a sudden the AFC South could have multiple bids here. Which does obviously hurt Miami's chances again.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the teams in front of them and tell me if you think they're going to falter more than Miami would win. Is outside of the top 4, you've got the Chargers, Jags, and Buffalo all sitting at 7-4. Texans, Steelers, and Chiefs all at 6-5.
I mean, they're all going to play each other, though. That's the part. I mean, the Texans have 2 games against the Colts. They still have to play the Jags twice. The Colts do. Jags and Texans, I believe, are done with their season series, but the Jags aren't done with. Yeah, like there's.
That's still we're 11 down the list.
I mean, you're right. Look, I'm ultimately making the devil's advocate case for 100-1 right now. So everything you're saying is true. I just wouldn't put it. I wouldn't put it past Miami. First off, I'll say this outright. I think I'm probably going to lose by 6.5, which sucks. But is it realistic that they're going to go on a run here potentially, given the ease of their schedule? I think absolutely.
Also, speaking of win totals, I know this is totally going on a tangent. I am livid at the Cal Golden Bears.
Oh, yeah, you lost that.
I mean, I guess
the
there's...
game? The game? The big game?
The game. No, it's just big game. It's not even the big game. It's just called, like, big game. At least that's how Fleming keeps referring to it, and he's an alum.
For for 2 smart schools, that I don't like that.
Yeah.
Grammatically, that bothers me.
Exactly. The way that he uses it in a sentence, it's weird. It's been such a long...
Playing big game?
No, it is. That's how they say it. It's been such a long time since they won big game.
There's no way that's the right...
G.
Oh, my God.
Swear. That's how it's been
Gandhi?
referred to in my circle recently. Yeah. But I was really counting on big game to go in Cal's favor as my final one to get them to 7 wins this year.
Yeah.
And then obviously they don't. They've got SMU this week where they're, a 2-touchdown dog in that spot. So it doesn't look great. Really bummed about it. The actual season win total preseason was 5.5. So you guys cashed those.
To be clear, you just need 1 win. Wow. 1 win, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, 1 win. So you can still do this. We've seen Cal pull off bigger upsets, quite literally.
Well, and I said that when we had the whole ACC discussion and how an SMU loss is pretty critical for Miami to have a chance to get in. Yet, I don't have the most confidence that it'll happen.
I mean, obviously, they're 13.5-point dogs at home.
Good. Yes.
SMU's good, but we saw them go out to Louisville in a tough spot and win outright, catching 20. That was pre-Wilcox firing. I don't know, do you get the bump for Wilcox getting ousted?
Potentially.
Nick Rolovich going out there, unvaccinated and ready to go.
It is a weird situation
Fired up
there.
Yeah.
They have been just such a confusing team all season to me, though. They win games they shouldn't, and then they lose games they shouldn't, and that's been their entire schedule this whole year, which is probably a bigger reason why Justin Wilcox was let go versus just a loss in big game.
They can't be the way you say that. By the way, NC State's starting to pull away here, so I'm kicking myself a little bit. Now, it's only a 6-point game, 32-26, 137 left to go, but at least some evidence to the fact that early returns of this game were a little fraudulent, so maybe the Wolfpack, I know you mentioned this earlier, are they a space Wolfpack team? Either way, maybe they're going to start to kind of put the clamps down on Boise.
They're one word.
They're a one-word.
The Nevada Wolfpack is Wolfpack, 2 words, if I recall correctly.
I know that for sure, yes.
So, yes, they're 1 word, they're 2 words. Very important distinction in the who's that mascot
Yes,
world.
very true. We deal in technicalities, and Jeopardy would be incorrect if you spelled it with 1 if you were talking about Nevada. Quick aside, corporate entities have ruined everything. This should be the Jim Maui Invitational, not the Southwest Maui Invitational.
Boo, although
I knew it.
Do love the paint, do you not?
Oh, like the painted area of the floor? Yes.
Yes.
I thought you were going to stick up for Southwest.
No. The paint's great.
Yes, it is.
Also, Iowa State, as we head to the break here, up 58-43 right now on Creighton. We'll give you some of JVT's other thoughts on the college hoops card coming up, and still to come, our preview of Bengals-Ravens for Thursday.
You're watching Money Moves here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Stormy, Buonantony, Jonathan Von Tobel with you back here on Money Moves, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, Sirius XM, channel 158. You do have a bet for a game that's going to start here in short order in college hoops. Let's get to it. Syracuse, Kansas in the Players Era Festival going head-to-head.
It looks like maybe, I'm going to double check here, that I got the best of the number here, which means I'm sure Kansas is going to get wrecked. Let's see. Kansas laying 3.5 is what I got. Yeah, it's like 4.5. Circa's actually making a late move towards Syracuse here. Okay. It was 5, now it's 4. Either way, late 3.5 of Kansas. Part of what we talked about with Adam Overtime game for Syracuse yesterday against Houston. Makes a dramatic 11-0 run at the end of regulation to force overtime, then loses in that extra period. Syracuse comes into this tournament a little shorthanded as well, which was somewhat surprising considering their ability to push their opponent yesterday. Leading scorer Donnie Freeman is not going to be available throughout the tournament, so that is something that I think I thought would affect them, and maybe it will here in this spot, which is a bad situation for them. So given the fact that you're in overtime, given the fact that you had a really good effort without your leading scorer, but now you get to play Kansas. Look, I haven't seen a ton of Kansas basketball. This is kind of playing the spot as opposed to anything else. I know the Jayhawks, from a rating standpoint, aren't necessarily where they used to be. You can kind of tell that here on a neutral, just laying 3.5 against Syracuse in a second leg of a back-to-back for them. Kansas also playing a back-to-back too. But I think that situationally, I thought it was worth coming in, watching some of what Syracuse did yesterday, and expecting them to maybe fall off a little bit against Kansas. So let's go Jayhawks, see if they could get it done here against Syracuse.
So we talked about this earlier, your disdain for my San Diego State Aztecs.
We got to talk about this game.
You are not wrong. For anyone who has not been keeping up to date with this, and I don't blame you for not, but San Diego State was a 17.5-point favorite against Troy the other day. They end up losing that game outright in double overtime. Then, instead of rebounding against a nationally ranked opponent in an in-season invitational like this against Michigan yesterday, they get absolutely, your favorite word, mollywopped, just trounced by 40.
Dog walk also.
Yet, they are getting bet here. When we talked about this game a little bit earlier, they were 2.5-point dogs. They're now just 1.5-point dogs against Oregon today, total 140.5.
It's just been kind of moving in that direction this whole time.
Yep.
So, again, I will call it the what am I missing special between these two, because San Diego State has proven to kind of be a little overvalued. I know we had it in the rundown. We didn't really bring it up with Adam, but one of the worst cover teams by margin, if you're looking at ATS margin for San Diego State. Oregon, though, I mean, if you live and breathe, and I will say this, we do sometimes see, especially in the early portion of the season, Stormy, that you'll see the market kind of gravitate slowly toward the Ken Pom projection, which right now has San Diego State winning by 1. So I don't know if we get the full flip by the time we get to tip-off today, but we do kind of see that from time to time, and I think there's a reality that San Diego State is maybe being a little overvalued. Now, Oregon, we haven't really seen much. They haven't played anybody outside of Auburn, and they lost that 84-73. Outside of that, the highest-rated opponent they faced was Hawaii to start the season at 102, and that's the Ken Pom ranking. And a lot was supposed to be made of what San Diego State was going to be this year, but it hasn't been overtly impressive. You talked about the double overtime loss and the blowout here, 2 really bad results. So maybe I'm freaking out. I did write about this, and I still feel this, especially after watching Mountain West basketball so far this year. They're the best team in the conference. The potential for them defensively is going to be great. They look like they could have a really high ceiling on offense as well in conference play. But, man, what you've seen these last 2 games, and now we're expecting that they're going to essentially beat Oregon. I know they can cover as 1-point dogs, 1.5-point dogs, but I am surprised to see the market move in their direction. And keep in mind, it moved in their direction yesterday too. So I am, I haven't bet it because I have this feeling I'm going to bet it and they're going to win this game because I'm missing something here. But it is pretty interesting to see the returns for San Diego State, the market support for San Diego State, and yet here we are again, the exact same thing happening.
I know that it's still super early in the college basketball season, and predicted order of finish things don't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. But just like everybody predicted, Utah State and Wyoming at the top of the conference right now. Utah State was the second selection in the preseason poll, but Wyoming was like near the bottom of the barrel in the league, and they're like 5-1 to start the year.
I mean,
but
it helps.
They're playing nobody.
Yes, I was going to say it helps
Utah
when you're
State
playing
played nobody.
Cal State, Fullerton, Austin P, Portland,
But
Norfolk
I can't
State.
even fault them for that when San Diego State loses to Troy.
Norfolk State?
Norfolk, yes. Get it right.
Sorry, apologize. So they did play them last time out.
That'll do it for college basketball for us today.
Well, I got excited.
You have brought up,
for us?
unless you want, do you have another game that you would like to get to?
No, I mean, I think we covered them all.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be selfish and say, again, kind of, look, I can't figure out UNLV, so I'll be very curious to see what they have for Alabama later today. This is also part of the Players Era Festival. Alabama injured as well. In terms of the guys that are not available for them during this tournament, so that's going to be worth something. Philon has been playing for them, but they are a little shorthanded coming into the tournament. Regardless, UNLV's a weird team. They go out to Memphis last weekend, and they beat the Tigers on their home court. And then I watched them scuffle with opponents like, St. Joseph's. So We'll see what they've got. I'm tempted to lay the big number, but this is why, this is 9 o'clock tip-off. This is where it's at. You know what I mean? I love these games.
Yeah, you still got to lock in where you're going to watch that at later on tonight. You got to find a good spot.
I mean, maybe you'll just find me at a local watering hole all by myself, just hanging out watching college hoops.
Well,
who's to say?
Speaking of Vegas, you said in the last commercial break to me, let's talk about the Raiders. And you went on a Jonathan Von Triggered-like tirade yesterday about the current state of the Las Vegas Raiders on Monday. They are getting double digits, 10-point dogs in Los Angeles, taking on the Chargers at SoFi coming up on Sunday in that afternoon window. Total 41.5. What did you want to talk about with Vegas?
I mean, we're obviously betting them, right?
After you just talked about how bad they are and how awful, you're like, but that is, and I'll give you credit for this, it's a complete role reversal. Mm-hmm. You go from being a 3.5 point home favorite to now a double-digit underdog. So it's a very different situation for Vegas, and they have been plucky in some of those situations.
So I think the reason why I want to bring this up is I actually think it mirrors another game, and it involves the Dolphins once more. But Las Vegas and New Orleans are two teams this week where I look at them and I go, I just have this feeling that the market doesn't know what they want to do with them. Las Vegas last week, as you mentioned, deemed by the betting market to not only be better by a decent margin than the Cleveland Browns, but better enough to be laying 4. They got to 4.5 in some spots. They lose the game outright, and now they're catching 9.5, 10 potentially against the Chargers by the time we get to kick off this weekend. As you mentioned, role reversal, that's just a big change in your power rating over the course of a day, considering where they were at just this last week against the Cleveland Browns. So that, I think, is pretty interesting as well. Keep in mind, again, some 10s showed. The look at it, some spots was like 8 for this game. So clearly some sort of an adjustment. Similarly, with New Orleans, that's why I'm bringing this up, because I feel like these two games are hand in hand. And I brought this up to you last week. We talked about it on Friday when you weren't here. Wrestling with the concept of the market telling me last week the Saints are better than the Falcons. Obviously, that wasn't the case.
Correct.
And then now here we are after that result in which the market was wrong in its evaluation of the Saints, and now they're catching 6 against a similarly rated opponent that they just took on this last week in Miami. To me, it's just these two teams, because of the results last week, it seems like these ratings are kind of swinging somewhat wildly, and especially for this time of year, we probably shouldn't have these volatile swings in the power rating unless you're having a quarterback injury that really does impact the way you look at them. Both teams, after ugly results, I feel like I'm kind of tempted to go in and grab 6 in New Orleans and grab 10 if it gets there with Las Vegas.
So regardless, you're definitely having those as 10-point teaser legs for yourself, right? You got to bring the Raiders up to 20.
If I'm getting 20, come on now. Getting 16 with New Orleans, or do I flip it? Do I get 4 with the Dolphins?
No.
Come on now.
No, you take 16.
I don't want to ask the bad team to do good things for me.
But you have both bad teams in that situation, right? So
get the Chargers in a pick and get the Dolphins catching 4. So do you understand? Do you get my logic here? Do you not agree?
I wanted to ask you though, what in your view is the current state of the Chargers?
I don't know. They are. I'll give the same answer that I gave before about Jacksonville. What are we doing with LA? The results are all over the place. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't think there's any shame in saying I have no clue. The Chargers are a team.
The offensive line is a problem.
It is, and it is a. We talk about floor raisers all the time. I think that is a floor lowerer. Does that make sense? Right? It's an anchor. You get dragged down by an offensive line that is very poor. We have seen offensive lines, the same level of the Chargers, drag down better offenses. We've seen that version of the Bengals from time to time. So I really don't know what to do. You see these results for LA. You get these comfortable wins like teams against the Steelers, but then you scuffle with the Titans, you lose and get blown out by the Jags. I'm just not sure what I'm supposed to do with LA on any given week, considering the volatility in the results that we have seen.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. And especially, too, coming out of the bye, that's one of those things where I feel like we've seen more often than not teams that come out of the bye actually don't play as well either. So maybe that could be another feather in your cap for the Raiders. We'll see. Reminder, everybody, the VSiN Average Joe contest from Edge Boost is all about weekly prizes. Each and every week, you make 7 picks, NFL or college, and the highest score that week cashes $500 already. Have an Edge Boost account? Well, the price is going to double to $1,000. And while you're chasing weekly wins, you'll also be in the mix for big quarterly prizes like airfare and a hotel stay right here at Circa in Las Vegas. Want to come join us? bucks on an in-studio spot on a VSiN show. That's part of it too. Free to play. Enter anytime this season. VSiN.com/Joe.
One day only Thanksgiving Day deals are coming to Lowe's.com. Plus, members get early access to online Black Friday doorbuster deals on gifting favorites, like the still trending Cobalt Mini Toolbox for just $14.98. Don't miss up to 50% off for one day only at Lowe's.com. We help, you save. Valid 11/27 only on Lowe's.com. Member only doorbusters and midnight Eastern. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change while supplies last.
You're watching Money Moves here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Wrapping up this Tuesday edition of Money Moves, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. You missed any of the program today? Have no fear. You can always download Money Moves wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe, come join us, download, do all the things. I love the automatic downloads. It's very helpful.
You know, I am feeling great.
Why?
It's a holiday week. This is like the time to just chillax, relax, hang out, do whatever. I feel great. I love this time of year. It's absolutely fantastic. We have a great balance on the show today. I'm carefree, happy as a clam.
Is this because you finished some work right before the show and you just got this burst of energy or something? Is that? I
mean, I am completely untouchable in certain facets of my life. But no, I mean, this is a time of year to be happy, man. This is a good time.
This is Thanksgiving.
Time to relax.
Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. We've talked about this before. I love you just get fat with your family, eat all of this terrible food, watch football all day. There's no gift requirements. Throw the beverages back. Have a good time. It's easy breezy, beautiful cover girl on a Thursday.
We are, for our audience programming note, so I will be on by myself on Thursday. Extra hour, too, by the way. We'll start with kickoff at 10 a.m. We'll be on for 3 hours. Stormy will join us for a moment amongst a host of VSiN hosts who are going to give us a couple of minutes of their day to just, hey, what's the spread? How you doing? Here's the big question I will ask all of our hosts that join us on Thursday. I will ask this to you now, though. What time do you eat on Thursday?
Oh, just whenever it's done. And we're picking at stuff all day, too.
Sure. But when is, the meal ready? Generally, for the Von Tobels in my life growing up, I think, 2's been the sweet spot.
I was going to say,
when everything's ready?
We're a little bit later. I would probably say closer to 3:30 would be around when we do that.
I think it's acceptable. At me, JVT, at Stormy Buonantony. What time do you eat on Thanksgiving? The meal is ready. The turkey, the main protein, whatever, it's ready to go. So like you said, you're going to have the deviled eggs. You're going to have all the stuff that's out throughout the day. But when do you sit down and load the plate up?
And I don't know if your family has the honey-baked ham, hot. We always eat it cold.
Okay.
So we just have that out and people grab it as we go. That's not part of this is crucial to only have out during the meal part. That's something that's out throughout the day. We've got a bunch of appetizers and all of that fun stuff that's going. Also, speaking of food, Brian M. chiming in on social with us said, I'm thinking Stormy is the type who pulls candy bars out of her purse to put into the chocolate fondue when no one is looking. No, because that would be disrespectful to the process of the public place. Correct. I wouldn't do that. However,
I was going to say I did respond.
I am the type that can just pull candy out of her purse on a given moment. Have you guys tried the Reese's Minis? Can we get a sponsorship with these? These bad boys are insane. Unwrapped.
I mean, Reese's Minis, Neuro Gum, and/or Mints. The list goes on of things that I think we would be great sponsors for.
Gummy clusters. Yep. You finally got you on board. You doubted me for so long.
Yeah, I tried them. They were good. They were really solid. But, yes, she is, as I responded to Brian, I don't know much, but I do know that you are a candy carrier.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. It's even in my bio. I eat candy more than meals, and it's a very accurate statement about my life. But also on Thursday,
you really do have that in our bio.
Once the food is done for the most part and consumed, you've already taken your nap.
What do you drink?
Then we're going to have the nightcap. Oh, Bailey's and coffee for me is the go-to on Thanksgiving. It really gets the day going, I think.
Like and a little Southern Comfort
and then who
coffee.
knows where I go from there, But that's. We have liftoff.
Little SoCo and coffee is pretty good, too.
Throw a little Jack in there, maybe.
Yep.
Get wild. I'm here for it. But listen, once the nap is over, once you're well rested, you're ready to fire on some more bets for the night game. We've got a fun one. Cincinnati at Baltimore. The return of Joey B. Touchdown spread in this one. I mean, think about that. You're getting a touchdown with Joe Burrow back for the Bengals. How tempting could that be? This is the 5:20 Pacific, 8:20 Eastern kick on NBC. The turf toe injury kept him out 9 weeks The Bengals won how many games in that stretch?
1.
That would be 1, and it was the Thursday Night Football Icy Hot Bowl against Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. Good to note as well, Jamar Chase will be back for this one from the 1-game suspension, just in time, too, because T. Higgins will be out in concussion protocol. Trey Hendrickson still out as well for a Bengals defense that has been struggling. So, when all is said and done, spread against 7, total 51.5. Where are the leans? Have you fired on anything for this game?
No, I haven't fired on anything. 2 adequate defensive performances from the Bengals back-to-back. They limit the Patriots to 5 yards per play. You and I watched them bow up and stuff them at the goal line multiple times, like 3 different ways. You give up about, again, this is in the context of being the Cincinnati Bengals defense, but you give up 5.7 yards per play only to the Pittsburgh Steelers the week before. So it seems like maybe they're, I don't know if you're calling it improving or just fighting or whatever it is, but Bengals defense is at least showing some signs of life the last 2 weeks. And now all of a sudden, you get an offense that's not going to sputter out and die at times. It's going to give you an opportunity because Joe Burrow is going to be back. I get how bad this Bengals defense is. But last week, we went into Sunday thinking, the Jets, 2 guys gone. Defense has been pretty poor. Ravens are probably going to go in there and, be able to not even name the score, just have a good offensive performance. Nope. Instead, we get this backed-up performance of disjointed play once again. The last 2 weeks haven't been good. Lamar rushing down, sacks up. He's not as elusive as he once was. I don't know. I am a little worried about Baltimore. I played them right before Lamar came back at 7-1 to win the AFC. I still think they can reach those potential, those heights. But to say that there's this big of a gap with Burrow back, I don't know, man. I'm going to get my hand caught in the cookie jar potentially and grab 7.
I think the only thing that would be something sticking in my mind a little bit is, okay, yes, Joe Burrow is back, but what happens if he gets his foot stepped on, or is he fully in that spot? Is there potential that he's being rushed at least a little bit to come back, or was that extra week enough of a buffer for him to be in the best spot he can be for the foot? So that's one question, is just because we haven't seen it. That said, the offense has still been great even without him, and I know great is an interesting way to put it, but Joe Flacco's been a little bit volatile, but big picture, still top 5 offense in the NFL with him when you look at the basic metrics. Joe Burrow, how about this number? 17-3 against the spread when getting at least 3 points regular season or playoffs. It's pretty good.
Say again one more time for me.
17-3 against the spread when getting at least 3 points.
Okay. I mean, it speaks to how good they are, like offensively, situations where you're catching points can get inside of a number, whether it's throughout the whole game or maybe a little bit of a backdoor, whatever it is. So that makes sense.
We'll hit on some deeper stuff in this game and all 3 of the Thanksgiving games tomorrow. And, of course, as you mentioned, doing the live bet show coming up on Thursday. But before we get out of here today, you and I did both add a couple teasers to the portfolio for the week.
Oh, you got some teasers in there, huh?
Which one we have overlap on.
Really? Like on LA, or we have the same one?
The same one.
Really?
Yes.
Which one is it?
It is the Packers and Eagles.
Okay. All right, so Stormy's got a Packers-Eagles teaser, plus 8.5 for the Packers, Eagles -1. I like it, considering I have it.
I have the Packers as a base leg as well with the Broncos in Washington. They're only 6.5-point favorites in that game.
Packers and then Broncos. Okay.
Broncos at Commanders.
That seems pretty. I mean,
I honestly like laying the 6.5 with Denver.
Sure.
They played so many close games though that I'm like, just to win this game, that's all you need to do, and they're clearly the better team.
Yeah.
So that felt good to me.
I like it. As you mentioned, man, I don't remember anything. I think I have 2 teasers, right? So we have the same one, Packers and Eagles.
And another one I considered a leg that I was going to pair with the Broncos, but I ended up doing the Packers again. And that is the New England Patriots.
Unveil the thing that I have that I don't remember at all. Let's see, drum roll. Oh, that's right, Eagles Patriots. We can talk about the Patriots later because they play on Monday night. But so those are the 2 added. I will say, in adding these, it is worth bringing up. You would talk to handicappers. I'm sure maybe even Steve Fezzik, who texts you from time to time watching the show, he could speak to this potentially. You probably shouldn't put in teasers until like late in the week because that's when the market's tight and everything's accounted for. But feel relatively comfortable in getting those numbers down. And we'll see if that's the case. So let's go. 2 teasers for me there. Packers, Eagles, and then Eagles and Patriots. And this is my way. I have bet against the Bears the last 2 weeks. It has not worked. I'm scared. But I still think they're frauds. So we're teasing down the Eagles. Let's go.
So fair to say that with these legs, are those the sides that if you were doing when you put together your 10-point bad boy later on, those are the sides that you would then just double down on?
It's pretty tempting to get Patriots +3 at home against the New York Giants.
Okay.
For those who are wondering, again, we had a 13-leg, 10-point teaser.
And we got to keep it going. So good.
Got to do it one more time.
Also, so Jason tweeting
There
at
it
us,
is.
have you guys ever tried the Reese's Caramel Cup
No.
or Reese's Oreo? Yes, the Reese's Oreo combos I have tried. Very good.
You're more of a candy savant than I.
Well, I think, and
Candy connoisseur
I
is
don't think
better.
this is a hot take. I don't know if Reese's or Oreo has made a bad product. They could sell me anything.
There's probably some Oreo flavors that you don't know about that probably didn't hit.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
I've tried a lot of them, and there's none that I would say are bad.
But rate of success is probably high to your overall point.
Very high success rate. But I have not tried the Reese's Caramel Cup. That sounds good. I mean, it's sugar. How is it not going to sound good?
That's pretty good point there.
All right. And, there's one more. Where'd it go? And then for dinner time, Brandon said the cousin with the most kids works until 3, so it's usually 4 for them. Is 4 too late?
4 seems a little late.
I don't know if I
my
would wanna
family's
wait that
doing
long.
5 this year, so I told them I'm not going.
I think it would need to be, before 4. Between 3 and 4, between 2 and 4 is a pretty reasonable time, I
Tell
would
you
say.
though, those devil days don't want to see me coming, bro.
On that note, that's a wrap for us today. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. For Justin Emery, Jonathan Von Tobel, I'm Stormy Buonantony. Follow the money. Mitch and Paul coming up after this on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.